In this video, you're going to learn some parallel drum compression tips and approaches that you can use to go beyond the traditional technique and get some more punch, power, and energy from your drums. Let's do it. What's up? This is Jake with Musician on a Mission. The goal of this video is to hopefully introduce to you some new ways to use and think about parallel compression on your drums. So let's see what we got here. We've got our drums down here, kick, snare, tom, hi-hat, overhead, room, and all of these are being sent to a drum bus here, which is then routed to this all drums aux right here, and you'll see why we do that in just a minute. So let's quickly take a listen to the clip we're going to be working with first, and then we're going to add some parallel compression here and go through this the tips. Okay, so what I normally see people doing and how I learned to get these, big, powerful, punchy, and energetic drums is by creating a parallel compression track on the drum bus here. So let's do that now. I'm going to send this to an open bus. I'm going to put this in line. We're going to name this drum comp. And then I'm going to actually bring that send up to Unity. We're going to add some extreme compression using one of my favorite plugins,
The Monster.
And I'm going to crank up the attack as fast as it'll go. We're going to increase the input, the output. And then we're going to make sure our routing is correct. Sending the drum comp to our all drums bus. So now I've got the drum bus and the drum comp both being sent to this track. And when I want to make changes, I can do it on this track rather than these two individually and then worrying about the signal that's going into the drum comp and all of that baloney. So first, let's get this parallel compression track dialed in. Okay, good. I've got a slamming attack here. I've got between 10 and 20 decibels of gain reduction. So what this does is it creates some real kind of power and excitement. By having a fast attack, it's clamping down, it's squashing the signal, which creates a little bit more consistency. And then we're just going to blend that into the background. So let's give it a shot. Cool. So I like where that is right there. And normally, traditionally, this is how a lot of people use parallel drum compression. We also might, play around with the attack time a little bit, more punch, slower, more consistency, and bringing up a little bit more kind of sustain and energy of the cymbals faster. So now let's just talk about a few alternate methods of applying parallel drum compression. Tip number 1, only send the shells. So what we've got going on here is the entire drum bus is being sent to your parallel compression track. Now, instead of slapping your parallel compression on the drum bus and your kit as a whole, try experimenting with just sending the shells. So I'm going to go ahead, send only the shells to that parallel compression. And then we're going to blend that to taste. Let's check it out. Okay, those hits on the kicks and the snares are a little bit more consistent and they're much fatter. But remember, we got a fast attack going on here. So if we slow down the attack, they're actually going to be punchier because we're letting the transients come through and then clamping down on the signal, right? We're slowing this attack down, letting the initial hit of the kick come through, letting the initial hit of the snare come through, and then clamping down on the signal, creating more punch, but just on our shells. And our cymbals won't be affected at all. Let's check it out. Listen to how much punchier that is. Right? It just pushes those shells right up in front of the cymbals, and it's not having an effect on what the cymbals are doing. So traditionally, you're tossing a parallel drum compression on your drum bus. Well, everything that goes into that compression, your shells and your cymbals, are going to be affected, okay? And that can kind of create this kind of pumping sound, right? This way, if you're just sending your shells to this parallel compression, your cymbals are hanging out here and they remain untouched. So they're not feeding the compressor's not reacting to anything that's going on in the cymbals, and we're not getting any kind of pumping sound going on. You may actually want cymbals to go into the same compression as your shells and kind of have that relationship where they're playing off of each other and the kick and the snare are kind of having a pumping effect on the cymbal sound. That's totally okay. That's a very musical way to approach it. I'm just offering an alternate approach. So if your intention is to bring out the punch of your shells without touching the cymbals at all, this is the way you would do it. At least this is one way you can do it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and I'm going to name this shell comp. So at this point, if you did want to send your cymbals to that same compression, you can go ahead, send them, and then dial them in. Like, let's say you don't want to send the same amount of signal, right? You don't want to send it at unity, so you want to kind of dial it back and maybe send less of a signal to that parallel compression. That's okay too. Let's dial that in. So no matter where I'm kind of dialing these cymbals in, I'm not really happy with it. They're just a little too, I don't know, they're a little too kind of splashy. I think it's the slow attack of the compressor on this channel where it works great for drums because it lets the transients come through, but it's doing the same thing for the cymbals. And I think as a result, they're kind of fighting with our shells here. So what we can do is tip number 2, send our cymbals to another parallel compressed track. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's send these to a new bus, get it in line here. Warp. We're going to name this SymComp. Let's get it routed correctly. And now we're going to add a compressor. We're still going to use extreme settings here, but instead of a slow attack, we're going to crank this up to be a fast attack. That's going to quickly clamp down on our cymbals and actually our room. Also, I'm going to send our room to this track too. So it's really going to squash the cymbals. It's going to make them sound like they're a little bit further back in the mix, but it's also going to bring up a lot of energy and excitement and detail. And this dynamic processing, since it's different than our shells, it's going to create kind of like a nice contrast between those two elements. So let's go ahead and get this dialed in. Now, there's still some bleed coming through from the shells, and there are things that we can do to kind of minimize that. But for now, let's just kind of stick with the process here. So now we've got a parallel channel for our shells with a slow attack. We've got a parallel channel for our cymbals with a fast attack. Now let's blend this to taste. Nice. Now we've got the punch from the shell compressor combined with that kind of consistency and the fatness and the sustain of our cymbal compressor. And I think it's just kind of cool to think of these parts of the kit in terms of their dynamics like that. We've got punch, and then we've got more consistency and sustain, a more forward sounding element next to a more consistent kind of set back element. And then you blend all three of these together to create your drum sound. Now, another tip I want to share with you is automating parallel compression. And the idea is you can use parallel compression as an effect to create contrast between sections of your song. So for example, let's say I wanted to just get a different character on my drum kit when it comes to the chorus section here. So here at marker 5, we're looking at the hi-hats, and then the crash cymbals blast in at marker 6. Let's listen. So maybe I want just like a different attitude or a different pumpitude or maybe a different size or different kind of punch or whatever. I could do something like send that entire kit, that entire drum sound to a new open bus. All right, let's bring that over. And I'm going to call this CH comp, chorus comp. Let's route that to the mix bus. Let's bring that up. And I'm going to bring in a whole new style of compressor here. So let's go over here. Let's use a distressor. And I'm just going to go with a super fast attack. Super fast release. Fine. Now let's blend this to taste. Okay, so now this compressor is making our drum sound super, super fat. We're actually using this in the more traditional way, but what's not quite as traditional about it is that we're going to automate it on and off. So really what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to mute it for the entire song except for this chorus section. Now let's see what that does. I'm just going to tighten this up a little bit. Here we go. Okay, as soon as that section comes in, it just has a different sound to it. It sounds bigger, it sounds fatter, and that creates contrast between the sections. So in the context of the arrangement, you can automate some parallel compression to your drums so that it makes things sound more powerful and there's more impact when your choruses slam in. And this is the kind of stuff you should really be thinking about in order to improve audience engagement and keep the mix interesting. Now, all these parallel drum compression tips I just shared with you are awesome, but there's still a lot of other stuff you need to get right if you want your music to sound professional. So that's why Rob, the founder of Musician on a Mission, put together a free workshop where he shares the 7 steps to making radio-ready music at home. And what you'll see inside is that Rob shares a completely new approach to home recording and mixing that's going to help you do all of this much, much faster. And the steps that he shares with you in the workshop hasn't just worked for him, but it's worked for over 36,000 people. They've already been through the workshop and they've already seen results in just a matter of days. So now it's your turn. If you want to learn those exact 7 steps that are going to take your mixes and your music to a pro standard in under a year and avoid wasting time, money, and effort on the wrong things, then go and watch that free workshop. You can either click the link on the screen or in the description. Completely free, super, super valuable. And if you're new here, thanks for subscribing and supporting the channel. That's all from me. This is Jake signing off. And remember, create regardless.